Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Kat and today I'm going to be showing you more than 15 bullet journal page and layout ideas for you to try in your own bullet journal for 2024. So if you follow my channel for a while, you know that every December and June, for now, I post a bullet journal setup in my new bullet journal. I divide my bullet journal in 6 months, so I post a annual bullet journal setup every 6 months. And so this year is going to be no different, but I'm still waiting for my journal to arrive. So I decided to share with you some pages that I did in my previous ones that I'm not going to do in my current bullet journal, in my new bullet journal for 2024, but that might inspire you and help you to create your own bullet journal for the following year. I've been bullet journaling since 2017, but the first bullet journal setup for the year that I did was in 2019, and you're going to be able to watch all of my flip throughs and setups in the description box because I'm going to link all the videos that I did showing you my bullet journal setup for the year and my flip throughs of each notebook in the description below. But for this video I'm just going to focus on different pages that I did in my collections for the year and the different layouts that I did for each page in different years. And before I start showing you all the pages and giving you my own advice and recommendations, I want to mention that my Christmas grab bags are now available on my shop. I have 3 different options for you to choose from and a standard option for both stationery grab bags and the washi tape sample grab bags, so make sure you grab yours this week. They are limited edition and I only have a few of them in stock, so make sure you grab them before they are completely sold out and never come back to my shop. More information is going to be in the description below. You can check out my shop, and let's get started with the different pages for this year. So the first page that I want to mention is the key. So this page is very popular when someone starts a new bullet journal because it's how you write things up and how you color coordinate things. So in this key, I have the different code for my tasks, and I have a little color code on the side for any type of things that I want to track in different ways. And as you can see, birthdays is yellow, so I have some yellow here, and holidays it's gray, and things for work, YouTube and Instagram, I was tracking with different colors. Nowadays, my key is basically this. I have here another key that it's a bit more complex in terms of color coordination. I never did a very complicated key, and that is my recommendation. Don't start with a bunch of tasks and color codes because you're not going to stick with them very often. And that is actually my advice, is to start with a much simpler key instead of doing a bigger key and just not using it at all. I would recommend just start with this, and if you see that you need a color code in your bullet journal, add this portion right here. A key is a very popular page, but if you don't need a key in your bullet journal, just skip it. I have mine in my head, I just don't write it anywhere else, but if I would recommend a key, would be this one. The next page is a future log. This one is another one of those popular pages that everyone does in their bullet journal when the year starts. And I have this layout, which is one of my favorites, but as you can see, I didn't use it that much. I honestly don't use a future log anymore in my bullet journal, but this one was a layout that I really wanted to try, and I really like how it looked. But if I had more than 2 things to put in one day, I didn't have space for them. So it's pretty, it's not very functional, but I still really like this layout a lot. Previously to that, I did this layout, which is a vertical 6 months future log. Of course, that if you can fit more than 6 months, you will need to reduce the size of everything. You have a lot more space to write your events and things for the whole year. And again, I use my key and color code to color code the events and birthdays and things that I want to post in my future log in this bullet journal. And I also have this layout that includes 12 months. And in here, I have a little bit less of space for the things, but I think it was worth it because I don't track a lot of things in my future log. So this is what I did. And I used stamps for my calendars because I could not write every single day of the year in a bullet journal. So I used stamps, which is another recommendation that I have. Mine are from Amazon, and it just saves you a lot of time. Instead of writing every day for the whole year in your bullet journal, just use stamps. But these are just a few future log layouts that I find that are useful and practical. And yes, you don't have a lot of space for decorations, but your bullet journal should be functional and not pretty. So I highly recommend trying one of these layouts for your future log if you're planning on doing one for 2024. And speaking of pretty things, I don't really recommend, but I think it's fun to add a cover page to your bullet journal. This is the cover page that I did for my second bullet journal of 2022. It's so pretty. It's so pretty to look at it. I love this page so much. It speaks to me. It's my style. It's me in a cover page, and I just love it so much. It's completely useless because I just never looked at it, but the main focus of my cover page for the bullet journal was not to make something look prettier. It was much more to have a quote and a mantra for the whole year or for the next 6 months. This one is about changing who we are so we can be better. And if you would like to deep dive inside reminders and quotes for the year, I highly recommend doing a page like I did right here, which is a reminders page for a bullet journal. I did this page in my 2021 bullet journal, and I just love how it looked because I wanted a lot of reminders and I just couldn't decide on one. So I decided to use a page where I would write things to remember and things to let go of, and I would read these reminders every week or so. It's better if you read them every day, but to be honest, I wasn't doing that, so I just read them every week. And it was really refreshing to me to look at this page every week or so and read that failing is part of the process, to let go of negative energies and toxic people and what doesn't fulfill me. And it's just so good to have reminders in your bullet journal. So even though a cover page is practically useless and it's just pretty, you can combine the two and have a reminders page with a cover page for the month. I also did this one, and I think it was also 2021. This is my second bullet journal where I just printed a bunch of quotes and I put them in here and I would read them every now and then. And I love quotes in my bullet journal, so this was a big part for me, and I really love how they turned out. And these are very simple pages, but I really like how they look and what their purpose is. And if it fulfills you, I think you should do one and not just do a pretty page just because it's pretty. Give it some use and maybe create a quote page for them, or to save your quotes that you look at throughout the year, or with pre-done quotes in your bullet journal to read throughout the year. Now, I want to mention a couple of pages that you can do monthly, but that I would recommend doing them yearly to save time, space, and patience all year round, pretty much. So the first page is an year in pixel spread. I did this one for 2022 instead of my regular monthly mood tracker pages, because at the time I was doing a mood tracker for each month, and I will change the color palette and the design and everything. And it was a page that I thought that would be better if I just had one for the whole year. And the concept is the same. You track your mood, you have a little color for each mood, and you can color each day with that mood. So it's basically the same thing, but it's just one page in your bullet journal, and you don't have to do it every single month. And I highly recommend you to try it because it's really fun to see your whole mood and how your year went at the end of the year. So this is one of the pages that I no longer do in my bullet journal because I did for these 6 months, the last 6 months of 2023, and I stopped in August. So I'm just not going to do that for 2024, but I highly recommend you give it a shot. And speaking on pages that you can combine and just do one for the whole year instead of doing one for each month, this one is a 6 months habit tracker. So of course that this didn't take me long to figure out that this was not going to work, but this was a page that I created for 2021, and I have here all the days from, I believe, July to December. And I just had the habits here at the top, and I was just tracking when I went to have a workout, when I meditated, when I journaled, when I studied, and for each day I would do my habit tracker here. I would recommend you to have a monthly habit tracker, but if you're tracking the same habits every single month, just use a yearly one, or at least a 6 month one, because it's going to save you so much time and space in your bullet journal, and you don't have to set it up every single month. The next page idea is an accomplishments page. So as you know, I create memories page for every month in my bullet journal right now, but there was a time where I used to do accomplishments page in my journal. So this one is for 2019 and I have here a lot of memories. I got my first job, I celebrated 5 years without ice cream, I hit 2,000 subscribers on YouTube, and this is another perk of making a accomplishments page is that you can use it for the whole year and mark your accomplishments, but one day when you look back into your bullet journal, you're going to see all of the accomplishments that you did in a single year. I also did this one for 2021, and this is a bit more on the minimal side, and it was just related to personal stuff. So I got a giveaway, I got my first sponsorship, I read 10 books this year, and this is really fun to use throughout the year, and I really recommend you to do this page in your bullet journal if you feel like your year is going to be a really good year, so you can mark everything that you accomplish in your bullet journal. And since I spoke about my 2000 milestone hit on YouTube, I'm going to include this page here as well. This is an Instagram follower tracker and a YouTube subscribers tracker, because this page was really important to me when I first started posting as my business and frequently, and it was really fun to see my following growing and the little accomplishments of 1,000 subscribers. And so this is another page that I recommend and that I find useful if you are a creator and you're trying to grow your brand, to make this page and to celebrate the small wins. And still on the topic of memories, I have this other one that I did for 2020, which is just for 6 months, because at this time I was using every bullet journal for 6 months only. And I have here a couple of accomplishments that I got, but this also works as a memories page. So I have different memories here, and this is just text because at the time I was just writing stuff down. I wasn't really using photos. But if you want, you can do a memories page with photos. And this is exactly what I did for last year. So I have a lot of memories here. And if you saw my bullet journal setup, one of them is that I met Heather from Moshi Bujo last year in August. And we did our first weekend in Mexico, and there's tiny memories that I would like to save. We did a ghost photo shoot for Halloween, so there's a lot of memories that I wanted to keep in my bullet journal, and nothing better to do than use photos for that. So you can also do text if you prefer to make them smaller or more intuitive, but if you have photo versions of them, I highly recommend you include them in your bullet journal. This is what I normally do for every month or so now, and I have the memories for 2023 to complete in my bullet journal now, and it's just so good to see your whole year, or at least the past 6 months, in your bullet journal. Moving on to different types of trackers, like a small business table. I did this page 2 years ago, I believe, and it was at the time where I was supporting a lot of small businesses and I really wanted to start purchasing from them more often. I ended up doing that, as you can see, but I just didn't follow up with that because that started to get a bit expensive on my side. But I recommend a lot having a small business chart or a page or a table like this to track which small businesses you want to support and what you would like to buy from them, and also to track when you ordered from them and when you received it. If you have a small business or you have a shop or anything like that, feel free to leave it in the comments so I can check it out and others can check it out, because I feel like it's really important to support each other and get to know other small businesses that we can support. Another tracker page that I did that I used a lot, as you can see, on this section, not on this one, is a things to check out page. This is basically a bucket list for the whole year, and in here I just included movies, TV shows, places, and books to check out. You can include anything in here. You can put out recipes, you can put out animes, anything that you want to check out for the year, you can place it in here. But if you don't want a huge page occupying 2 pages for your things to check out page, you can do a smaller one, and I did this blue version of it, where you just have less space for each thing, but at least you're going to use it correctly, because as you can see, I didn't use all of the space that I had for everything in this page. And in here, I changed from places to animes and from books to music. And speaking on anime trackers, I highly recommend, if you are a huge fan of anime like I am, to have a page where you track your anime episodes, because if you don't have a specific website where you can track in which episode you're in, I highly recommend doing a page like this. So I had the different animes that I was watching or that I wanted to watch next, and I was tracking at each episode I was in. And it helped me to, first of all, decide when to stop in watching an anime, but to not miss track at what episode I was watching. Probably one of the number one page that I recommend you to have in your bullet journal is a brain dump page. So if you want more information about this page, I have a whole video dedicated to it where I explain in detail how you can use a brain dump page and what it is. But essentially, it's a page where you just take everything from your mind and you write it down. And I used to do this page on a monthly basis, and I have here an example of my April 2020 brain dump page. This one was just for me to just write things down, things that I wanted to do related to videos and stuff, and other to-dos that didn't really fit into my monthly list or my weekly spreads. It was just random things that I wanted to write down, so I put it in my brain dump page. This was a monthly one, but you can do a yearly one and have the same success with it, because I feel like it's really important to have a page in your bullet journal where you just dump things out. And if you need to write stuff down to not forget, you don't have a space, that's what the brain dump is for. For this one, I was just brainstorming stuff for 2020, so throughout the 6 months of 2020, and for the next 6 months of 2021. This is what I use this page for, and I highly recommend you try it out. So those are all the page ideas and layout ideas that I had for you in this video. I really hope you enjoyed all the pages that I showed you here and the layouts, and that you take some inspiration from them. Let me know if you're going to use any of these pages in your bullet journal for 2024. If you use any of these pages that I mentioned, let me know in the comments which page you would recommend a newbie to bullet journal to use in their first bullet journal if they are trying a new one in 2024. Leave a notebook emoji in the comments if you watched it until this point. Thank you so much to my Ko-Fi members for always supporting me. Don't forget to check out my shop at the link in the description box, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys!